Earlier, you mentioned you guys meet up and you talk about your inventory acquisition, and I know that that's with the current used car market values kind of sliding, and the chip shortages still existing for a lot of OEMs. I'd love to hear what is your inventory acquisition system like now, and how are you kind of optimizing the other aspects of your dealership, like service and parts, especially with the challenges around getting parts for used cars.
As far as parts go, I really don't think we've had much of a challenge. We've been able to do recon. We haven't run into any major issues or anything like that. Um, as far as acquiring cars, we were really, really successful with the simplest of email with no graphics, just something saying to the effect of, we're looking to buy cars, we need your car, click here to get an idea of what your car is worth. And I would send that email out to my database to maybe 25,000 people. And we get 200 to 300 replies. And I could send the most beautiful graphic email with lease specials at 199 like we used to do, with no money down, and come get a new Civic, and we'd get 2 replies. So a simple email that says we want to buy your cars has been nothing but great for us, and getting cars back in, and you know the consumers were loving it. I mean, I'd buy back a car that you paid 25,000 for 28,000 after you've used it for a year and a half. It was a crazy time. We've also been extremely successful with our upgrade department, working the service drive.
Nice.
Um, I'm afraid for those guys in the future here, in the sense
Really?
that, well, we used to lease at over 50%, and we used to sell 180 new cars. Well, there are months we've been doing 50, 60 new cars, and 2 to 3 years down the road, when those people aren't going to be in a lease, they just don't have a car. So it'll be interesting to see how the future goes. I'm interested to see what happens on the used car market come January, February. It seems to always drop this time of year, and we're super buried in our cars, and oh my gosh. And lo and behold, if the manufacturer is still not pumping out the amount of cars that they want to, um, I'm hoping that the used cars recover coming into the beginning of next year.
That's a really good point. I have stores that have, I'm in Northeast too, that have really high, extremely high lease penetration, and that's definitely been a struggle because now people are like looking at the new lease payment and like, oh, I'll just finance that instead. So then the question is like, as they buy used cars and those begin aging and stacking up the miles, how does that affect their willingness to come back and buy another car? And retention is going to be an interesting thing, I think, for both service and sales moving forward.